We have a saying, if you look too much at what your neighbor has, you may forget the value of your own home. But for some, this warning comes too late. Some only learns when life itself delivers the lesson, painfully, publicly, and in the ways they never expected. Meet Chioma, a quiet girl. People described her as slim, almost invisible in the crowd, like a shadow that barely left an impression. But deep inside, Chioma carried a storm. Every time she scrolled through Instagram, every time she saw a woman with big bum, curves, and a perfect figure-8 body, her chest would tighten with envy. She could feel it, a burning desire that refused to be ignored. "Oh my God," she whispered one night, staring at her reflection in the tiny mirror of her bedroom. "Why can't I have what they have? Why am I like this? Why am I this flat?" she would always say. Chioma's obsession with perfection had begun small. At first, it was just gym sections, protein shakes, and endless hours on TikTok watching transformation videos. But soon, she realized something terrifying. Exercise and diet alone could never give her the shape she craved. She wanted perfection. She wanted to be the woman that everyone looked at and whispered, "Man, she got the body of dreams." That was what she made a vow that would change everything. "I don't care what it takes," Chioma said to herself, her eyes glittering with determination. "I would save every kobo, every naira, every dime. I would have the biggest, juiciest BBL you've ever seen." She started working overtime. She took up freelance job online. She sold things she didn't need. She even skipped birthdays, weddings, and outing with friends. Every naira went into her body fund. People started noticing her new obsession. Friends whispered behind her back. Her mother, of course, frittered. "Chioma, why are you doing this?" Her mother asked one evening as she counted the money Chioma has hidden under her bed. "It is life, Mama. I want what I want," Chioma replied firmly. Weeks turned into months, months into years. Chioma's front grew, and so did her excitement. She would spend hours on YouTube watching surgeons explain the Brazilian butt lift procedure, the risks, the transformation. She fantasized about the moment she would look into the mirror and finally see what she has always dreamed of. Then, one scorching afternoon, she booked a flight to Dubai. The world's renowned surgeon was waiting, and Chioma's heart pounded as she boarded the plane. This was it, the moment she had always been saving for, dreaming for, living for. But little did Chioma know that the story of her life, her obsessions, and her dream of perfection was about to take a turn that would make her and everyone who knew her never forget this journey. Chioma's plane touched down in Dubai, the city of dreams and limitless possibilities. She could hardly believe it. She, a quiet, almost invisible girl from Lagos, was yet to change her life. Every detail of the city seemed surreal. The glistening skyscraper, the perfectly paved roads, the smell of luxury that lingered in the air. Her heart pounded as she arrived at the clinic, a palace of white marble and glass sparkling under the sun. The surgeon greeted her with a professional smile, and soon, Chioma was prepped for the procedure she had already been saving for years. As she drifted under anesthesia, her mind swelled with images of her new body, of the envy she would provoke back home, of the attention she would finally receive. When she woke up, Chioma felt different, tender, sore, but alive with excitement. Her first glimpse in the mirror stole her breath. Her bum was full, round, and exactly as she had always dreamed of. She ran her hands over her curves, gasping at her reflection. For the first time in her life, she felt truly seen. Returning to Lagos, Chioma's new body turned heads. Friends, Strangers, even casual acquaintances couldn't help but stare. Compliments rained down on her wherever she went. Chioma smiled, basking in the attention. It felt so good. No, it felt amazing. She had finally achieved the figure that had haunted her dreams for years. But as days passed, that joy began to change. Every compliment felt good, yes, but it also ignited something darker inside her. She noticed other women with curves that were even more pronounced, even juicier than hers. She scrolled through Instagram late at night, comparing herself to models, influencers, women she had never met in real life. And with each scroll, her satisfaction dwindled. This is good, Chioma whispered one night, staring at herself in the mirror. But it's not enough. I can do more. I deserve more. The obsession grew. Every naira, every kobo she could save went towards her next surgery. She started working harder, refusing social gatherings, skipping family events, pouring all her energy into the goal that had begun to consume her life. She was no longer just chasing envy. She was chasing perfection. Absolute, unstoppable perfection. Months later, Chioma returned to Dubai for a second BBL. This time, she was not nervous. She was hungry. The procedure went smoothly, and when she looked into the mirror afterwards, her eyes shone with a dangerous excitement. Even bigger, even more perfect. She felt untouchable, like she had reached a level no one else could ever touch. Back in Lagos, the reaction was electric. People gasped when they saw her. Men stared, friends whispered, and social media exploded with comments about her new curves. Chioma felt alive with power. But as the days passed, the old dissatisfaction crept back. She began imagining her body even bigger, rounder, more dramatic. It was not enough. Chioma began to whisper to herself late at night. Just one more. One last BBL. The biggest, the juiciest one. After that, I will be perfect. Finally. That seed of obsession, planted after her first BBL and watered by attention and envy, had now grown into a wandering tree of desire. She saved, she schemed, she planned every thought dominated by her body, her image, her perfection. And soon, the day would come for her third BBL, the day that would change everything, the one that would bring her story to a shocking, unforgettable climax. Chioma had arrived back in Dubai for her third BBL. Her excitement was electric, almost painful in its intensity. She felt untouchable, like she was about to reach the peak of her obsession. This time, everything had to be bigger, juicier, and perfect. Hi besties, if you're interested in learning how to create amazing folktale stories like this, I'm currently running a class where I will guide you step by step. Comment interested if you want to join. Now let's get back to the story. As she lay on the operating table, she closed her eyes and imagined the reactions. Friends, strangers, social media followers, everyone would gasp, everyone would stare, everyone would know that Chioma had achieved the ultimate figure. The surgery went smoothly, or so she thought. When she looked into the mirror afterwards, she almost screamed. Her bum was enormous, round, and dramatic beyond relief. She could barely believe it herself. She laughed, touched, and stared, completely consumed by her own reflection. Back in Lagos, Chioma's arrival at the airport was like a red carpet event. Eyes turned, jaw dropped, whisper followed her everywhere. She stared through the terminal like a queen, every glance feeding her obsession. But little did she know that her body, stretched and expanded beyond natural limits, was now walking on a dangerous edge. She boarded the plane for her flight home, choosing a seat in the middle, thinking she could relax and bask in her new perfection. The flight attendant glanced at her politely, some in awe, some in disbelief. Passengers nearby whispered. She's wow. Chioma smiled smugly, feeling the thrill of power. Then, after about 2 hours into the flight, the impossible happened. Chioma felt a strange, sharp pressure building beneath her. At first, she ignored it, thinking it was normal soreness from the surgery. But the pressure increased, and with a sudden, shocking pop, the unimaginable occurred. A tall BBL burst. The sound was barely audible over the horn of the engine, but the sensation was immediate and catastrophic. Chioma gasped, freezing in her seat. She could feel it, the new cause she had worshipped for months, now betraying her in front of dozens of strangers. Chaos erupted. The passengers around her turned in shock. Some tried to hide their tears, others whispered frantically. The flight attendants rushed over, their professional calm barely masking their horror. Chioma's hands trembled as she clenched herself. Mortified, a perfect image, her obsession had literally exploded in the middle of a plane. Madam, are you okay? The attendant asked, trying not to panic. Chioma couldn't speak. Her mind raced faster than the plane engine. Images of Instagram fame, envy, admiration had all vanished, replaced by humiliation, pain, and terror. Passengers tried to help, offering tissue, blankets, anything. Chioma sat frozen, her face burning with shame, her heart pounding with disbelief. How could this happen? She had worked so hard, saved so long, sacrificed so much, only for this nightmare to unfold at 3,000 feet. Even the pilots over the intercom asked if she needed medical attention. Chioma nodded weakly, barely able to speak, wishing the earth would swallow her whole. As the plane touched down, Chioma's body was trembling. Every step towards the exit was a nightmare of pain and shame. The whispers followed her like shadows, and she could feel eyes burning into her back. The worst was not the embarrassment. It was the pain that pulsed with every heartbeat. Paramedics were waiting at the airport, and the moment they saw Chioma, they knew this was serious. They lifted her gently but firmly onto a stretcher. The crowd watched in stunned silence, a mixture of fear, pity, and gossip buzzing like electric in the air. Inside the ambulance, Chioma thought to race. This is it. This is the end. Our obsession with perfection, the countless surgeries, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, all of it flashed before her eyes like a lightning storm. Every naira she had saved, every moment she had forsaken, every glance she had envied was now meaningless in the face of mortality. Madam, can you hear me? One paramedic asked, shaking her gently. Chioma barely whispered, I thought I was doing the right thing. The hospital door opened like a gateway to different wards. Nurse rushed her in. Doctors were ready with equipment, and monitors beeped frantically. Chioma felt herself slipping in and out of consciousness, every pause reminding her of her fragility of life. Hours felt like days. The surgeon worked tirelessly, patching the damage, stabilizing her, saving the body she had pushed beyond its limits. Friends and family arrived, faces pale with worry, but Chioma barely noticed. Her world had shrunk to the thin line between life and death. And then, finally, the storm passed. Chioma woke, drenched in sweat, her body weak but alive. The room was quiet except for the soft beeping of the heart monitor. She blinked, slowly realizing she had survived. Tears rolled down her cheeks, not from shame, not from pain, but from the raw clarity of the lesson she had ignored for so long. She had chased envy, chased perfection, chased admiration, but almost lost her life in the process. Chioma whispered to herself, no more obsessions, no more trying to be something I'm not. I need to live. I need to truly live. In the following days, Chioma focused on recovery, learning to love herself not for the stares, not for the compliments, not for the envy, but for herself. She exercised moderately, ate well, and let her body heal. Slowly, she began to smile. A smile that wasn't forced. A smile that wasn't about attention. It was real. Her story spread across social media, of course. But now, Chioma used it to teach others the dangers of obsession, the price of envy, the importance of balance. She appeared in videos, sharing her experience with honesty, humor, and humility. And though the memory of the plane incident haunted her at times, it was no longer a source of shame. It was a lesson in living, loving, and valuing over obsession. Chioma had finally learned that the most important course in life weren't the ones she could sculpt. They were the twists and turns of experience, growth, and survival. And for the first time in years, Chioma felt free. Hi Tales by Debbie family, thank you so much for watching this amazing story. I hope you all enjoyed it and I hope you all learned something from this story. Please kindly leave your opinion about the story in the comment section down below and also what you've learned on this story. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit on that subscribe button, like this video, share with your loved ones, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye.